We are live and welcome to this episode of the Haram Life Podcast. I am your host, Reef Leader, and joining me as always is my right hand man, the legend.
What's up, baby?
And joining us today is Sarah. Sarah, how you doing today?
Hello. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm really good. Thank you.
Sarah, for those that don't know you, can you tell us a little about yourself?
Yeah, sure. Well, my name is Sarah, and I'm also known on my social media platforms as your Inked Nurse. I am indeed a nurse. I get asked that all the time. I think it's partly because of the way that I look that people aren't quite sure if I'm really a nurse. I am. I'm a wife. I'm a mom to a slew of kids. I am originally from Canada, but I do live in Australia now. And I am currently building my social media platform. Really, I'm an OnlyFans actress, should we call it? Performer, creator.
All things. You can call it whatever you want.
Influencer, creator, director,
All of the above.
star,
All of the
everything,
above.
everything.
Yeah. And I'm sort of, I don't know, they say you need to have a niche in social media. And it took me a little while to realize that I am an inked nurse, but I also am here to sort of break the mold. I do not like to fit in any mold. I'm a mom and I'm a wife and I am a sex star. So all of the above.
Amazing. Yeah, I love it. See, I got a little special place in my heart. My wife is actually a nurse.
Oh, amazing. We're the best.
Yeah. She's labor and delivery.
Good on her.
Specialty. So what about you?
I dated a lot of nurses.
We're a good sort as nurses. So I work I think in America, you guys use the term med surge, like I'm a medical nurse. So Here in Australia, I work in acute care in our public hospital in a medical ward. So I get all things medical, from mental health to respiratory to infectious diseases to endocrine, you name it, I get it. And I do have a little piece in my heart, which is probably where I'll end up, which would be the opposite to your wife, is for palliative care. So I like to support people on their journey, sort of at the end of their lives. Yeah.
That's I've definitely frequented that area, and those nurses are 100% angels, because it's so hard to stay positive on that floor. I mean, me personally, I don't care what anyone else says. I just walk through that floor and I'm like, any little kids that are sick, and then the hospice floor. Those are the two floors. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go down and labor where everyone's all happy.
Yeah, I don't do kids. I don't do little people. I can't watch them sick. But yeah, definitely when people have, I don't know. I like to support people in a dignified journey to death. I know it sounds a little bit morbid, but I like to just give them the best experience possible. So,
well, you know what? That's actually, you're spot on, because I don't know if you guys have been seeing this on social media. I don't even know what country it's in, but I've been seeing a ton of these videos where these caretakers are beating up these old people.
Yeah.
We see them here
because they've got dementia. They're hard. They're hard to deal with. A lot of times, unfortunately, family's done. Family's written them off, and they're out of there. And then you see these videos. I'm like, I'm in a fucked up algorithm or something on Twitter, because I get some really depressing shit, and somehow I stumbled into caretakers beating the shit out of old people. That's the algorithm I'm in right now, and it's a real problem. I mean, it's 100% a real problem. So I like to hear something like that, where you're going to go into, you have a good heart. You want to take care of those people. That's important.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Call out this bullshit you see from other people just not giving a fuck.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
So Sarah, how long have you been doing nursing for now?
Well, I originally was a nurse when I lived back in Canada in my early 20s. What was that, like 2001, 2002? I came to Australia in 2004 and I left nursing. I got a really posh gig working for a big pharmaceutical company. They offered me the car and traveling and good money. So I sort of branched off into that. And then I left the workforce altogether for a while. And I've only gone back to nursing since 2017, 18. Yeah.
So you were active during the little pandemic and everything, right?
I was.
Yeah. And in Australia, that was a kind of different, almost a little more authoritarian than it was here, right?
Oh man, this second wave that we had and the lockdown that they did, it was intense. It divided people and communities, and it felt bizarre. Like,
And listen,
yeah,
if it's a difficult topic, because I have seen that some people from Australia have been kind of shut down, arrested for certain opinions
Social
and
media
views
stuff,
on
yeah.
what's going on.
oh,
So
totally.
I don't want
Yeah.
to get you jammed up. I don't want to see a drone pick you up and
Yeah.
bring
Last
you
thing
over
we
to
need.
a prison camp. So listen, I know you said we can talk about anything, but just in case
Yeah.
that drone's
you
outside
just
the
let
I'm
us
window,
know.
happy to talk about COVID. I do get asked about it on my lives from time to time, and I probably don't answer, when I'm in public like this to the full extent that I would talk to my husband about it. However, I'm
Yeah.
happy to put some opinions out there. I just have to tread carefully because I do work in a public hospital system.
No, that's all right. That the conversation is kind of old and tired.
let's steer the fuck away.
What we more focus about is, the aspect of how they divided everybody, and that's what we usually talk about. We don't really care much. We already know what it's all about and what it is. So
Yeah.
there's only so much you can talk about it.
So
True.
let me just go
time.
back real quick because I don't know. I already started my drink over here. I thought I heard you say you have shluve kids. What?
Yes. So, we have 5 between us, my husband and I. I've birthed 4 of them, or sorry, 3 of them, but 4 live in the house. So I birthed 3 of them. We have 5. One's now living on her own. So 4 of them live in the house.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
How does that work with content creation with all the kids home?
School holidays are a bit of a pain in the ass. Yeah, it's I utilize, I try and plan my work schedule so that I have 1 to 2 like school hour days where I'm at home. The kids aren't here. And like tonight, for instance, I start night shift. So I had the house to myself for the day. So actually, I literally just finished content creation before I came on with you.
Nice.
So
that's why we got a glow right now.
That's exactly, you've got the glow. So that's sort of how I time it. I am only new. I only have just started since June. So I've sort of been trying to find a routine to streamline it. I'm trying to get more where I'm way ahead, have stuff backed up in the event that something happens. But yeah, we just went through. Sorry?
I'm sorry. No, so how long have you been on TikTok for? Are you saying all together social media, or you're talking about the new venture?
All together, all of it. Since June.
So since June, you got 63,000 followers on TikTok?
Yeah.
God damn. What is the secret to I still have no idea how certain people.
Well, Chris, you got to be hot first. Okay.
It's TikTok. I just can't work it out. Honestly, no idea. Any of it, any of the social media, I've got no idea. I'm just running with it.
Right. I mean, listen, you're doing great. A lot of likes, a lot of followers.
Yeah,
I know that was actually one of the questions that I had for you when I saw you, because I've actually heard the question just in general. I've heard it a lot, and it's especially women. Guys don't have this problem, but how do you differentiate between someone who's a fan and you're like, all right, maybe whatever, this guy might just be some lonely jerk off who's just throwing me money, filling up my Amazon wish list, whatever it is, to someone that you're like, all right, at the end of the day, you're married, you do have kids, you've got to be careful of what type of element you bring around you. How do you start to notice certain red flags when it comes to people that may just kind of check the box where you're like, all right, this guy's a fucking little bit weird?
It's really interesting. Since I've been doing this, I have had very, very few times where I have felt uncomfortable or that someone was sort of pushing the boundaries. For the most part, I find people are respectful, when it comes to ongoing connection with me. Right. It usually, a red flag for me is when they start asking for some weird shit. I'm not talking kinks. There's a whole world of kinks, and I've heard. Yeah, I'm not into all of them. I'm into a few, right. And I'm happy to hear them, and I will just respectfully say yes or no. But there is some stuff that to me is just crossing boundaries, and just right then and there, I cut it off. And then in social media, I find if people are persistently like trying to get my attention, like they're like in a narcissistic, I'm the only person here.
Yep.
I don't, or if they get cranky at me for not responding.
Yes, weird.
It's seriously weird. And then the other one is, and there's another content creator, and I watched her TikTok on it the other day, and it was really fascinating because she's OnlyFans as well. And she was talking about how there's an actual law in place around sending unsolicited dick pics because it's wrong. And she's saying, yes, I do send pics, but they're when requested. And I find it weird when somebody follows me on, say, Insta or whatever, and the first interaction they have with me is a picture of their dick. Like,
strange move to make. Like, I would never think to myself, hey, let me send this dick pic here, even if I'm having a great day. You know, I'm not gonna sit there and go, wow, the lighting's great, I bought a ring light and everything for it. You know,
I mean, first off, it's not like we're not talking about like, it's really not the most beautiful body part on the planet.
It's not
really not. It's really not a lead in. You know what I mean?
And that's not the part that gets me turned on. Do you know what I mean? I don't look at someone's dick and be like, oh, he seems like a nice guy. Like, it's just, it doesn't look like that.
But
and I'm
a 4.0.
I see them all day long.
Wait, so you know, now I have to ask, what was the red flag? Like, just give it to us. Give us one example of a red flag that you saw, it came across, maybe they asked for something that was a little bit like too weird, of like a request.
Yes, someone asked me to dress up in my daughter's underwear.
That's so strange.
Which, yeah.
I mean, you know what's funny? Like, I thought you were gonna come like so like with some crazy shit, but
no.
when you actually like pull that apart, kind of unwrap it, that's like,
it's pretty fucked
up. Because that's,
I just learned something really weird.
Yes, like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's some other stuff that people ask for, and you're like, no, like, it's just not my thing, whatever. But you know that it's a thing, and you can sort of process why someone might find it attractive. But
yeah, he's like
that's what's going down. Yes, that's where it's going in my head. So to me, that's just like a no-go. And then, like, I had someone recently join up. Like, I've got a free page and a VIP page, paid page, and someone joined up on my free page, and I make it very clear on there in my intro, and I have videos that it is my free page, and I endeavor to respond to DMs 2 to 3 times a week. I can only manage so many. My VIP customers, they get daily attention. And someone, you know, messaged me on the free page, and like 5 times in a row, and within an hour he's like, this is a fucking waste of my time, you don't even fucking respond. And I'm like, what?
Sorry about that.
This is a free page, and I have thousands of subscribers.
Girls, buddy.
Sorry about that.
Yeah,
I was trying to get to the podcast.
All right, so staying on the topic, then, how first off, how long you guys been married for?
Yes, a year only. I've only been married to this husband for a year. We've been together for 4.5. I've known him for 18 years. But I was married before for 15 years.
Okay, gotcha. What is his view?
Sorry?
What is his view?
On this. Yeah, he is, even before OnlyFans came into our life, he was the type of guy that he met me as I was sort of coming into, I call it my healing journey. I was embracing myself after a horrendous marriage and a horrendous divorce. And he was all about like, babe, you look sexy in that. You wear that. Or like, get your tits out at the beach. Do you know what I mean? You don't want tan lines. Like,
right.
And it's not like a kink. It's more like, or, you know, we'd be walking through the shops and he's like, babe, have you got any idea how many people are looking at you? And I'm in my own world. And he, you know, I'm like, no. He's like, they're checking you out left, right, and center. And he's like, well, yeah, you're freaking gorgeous. So he's just like, he doesn't think that I should not have sex appeal or be attractive to other people simply because I'm married or committed. Right. He understands that attraction does not stop. because you are attached or loyal to someone.
True. I mean,
yeah, and he absolutely has. When we talked about OnlyFans, he's like, well, do you want to do it? I was like, I don't know, I kind of am thinking I might want to give it a crack. And he's like, well, see how you feel. And, you know, I sort of eased into it, and he saw that, I don't know, I think I blossomed in a confidence way. My sexuality grew. And so he supports me through and through. We have boundaries. I don't do girl guy content. I am loyal and devoted to him. I don't do meetups, of course, or anything. Like, I don't cross over into that realm.
You're married. You're in a relationship, and this is literally almost like an alter ego, and it happens to pay the bills, and it doesn't disrespect your relationship. I get it. Yes. Listen, kudos to him. It's a difficult. A lot of guys can't do it. I know personally. I wouldn't. You know, I wouldn't be able to do it. But some people are just different, and the relationships are different. So
he's totally confident in my devotion and loyalty to him, and I'm completely devoted and loyal and completely secure in my relationship and fulfilled in my relationship. But it's like an alter ego. I get to explore like different parts of me that are so much fun, and I have grown and changed, and I enjoy it. He is curious sometimes, like he follows my pages so he can see all the content out of one, curiosity, and two, sometimes I'll be at work and he's like, babe, I just watched your video today. When are you getting home? Like,
listen, that keeps shit fresh. I mean, that goes
literally.
I agree. And you know, as a mom, you know, you guys go through a lot of changes over the course of your life, especially, you know, giving birth is not an easy thing. There's a lot of hormones that are involved. A lot of hormones come in, a lot of hormones go out. So whatever it takes for you to find that connection with yourself again, I mean, that's amazing. So I told you before you came on, Reef and I and Chado, when he comes in here, we're like the least judgiest people on the planet. Because I just think it's stupid. Yeah. It's stupid. Like we're learning something from you right now. Like I personally want to be. I want to be friends with your husband.
He's a cool guy. Yeah.
He sounds
and you know,
cool, you know what I mean?
He is. He's such a cool guy. And well, you should come. It's amazing. Australia.
There's like so many things that can kill you over there. The women, obviously, the spiders, kangaroos. There's snakes. You go in the water, a shark will bite your ass.
Wait a second. Is it true that kangaroos outnumber people in Australia?
I wouldn't doubt it. There is a lot of them. And like where I live in a beach town. There's like none in my neighborhood, but I can literally drive like 30 minutes sort of towards, I don't want to say mountains, they're more like hills. And there's kangaroos there. So, and my son, my youngest, he actually was attacked by a kangaroo. So
you see what I mean? And I'm 5'6". They're gonna think I'm a kid too, bro. Fuck that.
No, they're gonna put you in the pouch, bro. You're gonna be like,
they'll put me in a pouch. You'll never see me again. Fuck out of here.
Most of them are friendly, like you can feed them and pat them and all of that. But the big like boss daddy ones, you know, that look like they're on roids, they can get aggressive. And my son popped out of the car once when we pulled into a spot and he saw the kangaroos. He went running after them, and I realized I went running after him. And by the time I got to him, there was this big jacked up Joey that just clocked him and scratched.
You can't even call him Joey, right? You got to call him like JoJo. that motherfucker's brolic. Just that ain't no Joey. That's JoJo.
That's JoJo.
Oh shit! See, I've always wanted to go to Australia. I traveled, quite frequently before I met my wife, and one of my trips right before actually I had met her, but I didn't know she was going to be like. Well, I knew she was going to be my future wife. She didn't. But I went to Italy.
That day you met her.
I did tell you that day. That's
we met her together in Miami.
I love that.
We did. Wow, she's the fucking best.
I love that.
But I went to Italy, and I met more Australian people than I met Italian people in Italy.
Yes,
like
I know.
Travel.
They do, yeah, and that's how I ended up here. Yeah, it's because I went traveling all through Europe. And I met so many Australians that's why I was like, man, I'm going to Australia next. I'm going to meet up with everyone that I met in Europe, like same thing in Italy, in France. So all of the places. They're everywhere.
That's all. No, it's true. I mean, I'm in Playa del Carmen sitting in a hot tub, and I can guarantee there's two people in there. People from Wisconsin, because those motherfuckers go everywhere, and someone from Australia. Yeah. No matter what, it doesn't matter where I am. Those are the two people that are literally following me to all my vacations. Australians and people from Wisconsin.
There's a big Albanian community. In Australia.
Right. Is that your heritage?
Yeah, I'm Albanian. Chris is Italian.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah, but when I know, there's like a big community there too. I know because when I went to Europe, same thing. Yeah. I met a bunch of Australian Albanians. It's
right. Yeah, everywhere. Right.
You could tell they're the best people at the bar too, doing their same chant, the Aussie.
Oh, that's amazing. So wait, what time is it? What time is it right now? It's 12:30
it's 12:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, 12:30 in the afternoon on Thursday.
I worked the night shift. I couldn't. I went mentally like crazy for a while in the night shift when I worked the midnight to 8 in the morning shift. I could not adjust to it. And I did it for 2 years. I could just not. Every time remember, Chris, I was coming over to your house, sleeping on the couch, just
because we're not made. Yeah. We're not fucking bats. We're we're supposed to be awake during the day and sleep at nighttime. We're not nocturnal. But do you normally work like 3/12s? What's the shift?
No, so we're actually switching to 12s hopefully soon. We're 8 hours for the day or the PM and 10 hours at night. So and I just have a completely rotating roster.
So what is it typically? I work. Days?
So if I'm on night shifts, I'll do 4. I run a 4. And then if I'm on days and afternoons, I do run a 5. But through the COVID and since COVID, we're so short staffed. It's just like a bloody mess. But I used to be like an overtime bitch. I was always picking it up. But I've sort of said no, like it was ruining my life. And I didn't have time for my socials. I was stressing, juggling the both. Right. So I cut back. I'm still full time. I work 40 hours a week, but no overtime.
Are you guys, my wife's biggest complaint to this day is she's just sick and tired of wearing the mask, and nothing's going to change. And I'm not sure, are you guys in Australia? I'm assuming you are, right? You're wearing the mask that whole shift? And where they got you guys in, I've seen them go over to this plastic mask, which a lot of people liked. It was very comfortable, looked like a little donut. But then it seems like they've all reverted back now to the N95 again, which is just a fucking nightmare.
It's horrible.
How you guys do it?
It's terrible. And I'll admit I'm really bad at it. I get caught all the time with it on my forehead and on my chin. Because one, it's freaking uncomfortable and makes me feel sick, and I don't drink. But 2, I just want my patients to see my face, especially if we're talking about people who are hard of hearing, people of end of life. Sometimes you get people developmental delays. I mean, a whole different slew of reasons. And not only do I want them to hear me correctly, but I want them to see me smile. I want to give them like some brightness and happiness. I don't
especially if you make that transition into hospice. I mean, I thought about that. That's got to be terrifying for these old people, especially. Like, you got to feel like you're in a goddamn horror movie.
Oh, yes, it'd be awful.
I mean, we went through it pretty bad in the city. True story. We actually moved down to North Carolina just because we could not take. I'm originally from New Jersey. I lived in New York. Moved back to New Jersey, and we just couldn't take it anymore. It's too political driven, because we have the science. We have a lot of proof that says that these masks don't work, the vaccines don't work. But here we are, year 4 now, or whatever this is. And unfortunately, it's like, you know what? We got to just got to get the fuck out of here. We need something where it's going to be a little bit more, free will type deal. And we got down to North Carolina, and it definitely, it feels better. But my point is, when Reef in New York, which had like straight up draconian lockdowns.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I mean, how are you dealing with that? I mean, it had to be crazy in the city.
We were working. So we were working 2 weeks on, 1 week on, 1 week off, 1 week on, 1 week off, alternating shifts. And it was good because there was nobody there, but it was just scary that the busiest city in Manhattan is dead. The busiest city in the world, Manhattan, I must say, was just dead. When the busiest city in the world is dead, then we got a problem. And that's what the craziest part was. But the whole time you see, it was like The Walking Dead. That's the crazy part. All the bums were just everywhere. And just the people on drugs were just, and they weren't wearing masks. They weren't getting sick. They were just.
Well, Well,
out
I
there.
mean, listen, I hate to even get into all of this because I think we're all on the same page with as far as what we're thinking.
Yeah.
But there's so much hypocrisy of what took place. And listen, you can talk shit about the States because obviously you're not here, but you saw it. You were allowed to go out and riot and burn down cities, no mask. But meanwhile, you have a president who's, whatever you want to say about him, was doing a great job at the time, getting his balls broken because he's putting on rallies.
Yes.
Where people have their own free will, and if they want to wear the mask, great. If you don't want to wear a mask, that's also great. I mean, that's one thing Reef and I have always said to each other. Like, I don't give a fuck what you do. Just don't tell me what to do.
That's right. Just take care of yourself. That's it. Yeah, that's where I am. I really struggle with having others inflict their opinions on others in regards to COVID and masks and just everything. At the end of the day, if it's being enforced, I believe it just comes from fear and misunderstanding. But again, just take care of your damn self. So my husband's full anti-vax. He's not had a single vax. He's full against the whole thing.
Pure blood gang, stand up.
That's it. I'm starting to like her husband a lot more now.
He reckons he's going to make us millionaires when he starts selling his unvaccinated sperm. So
that's what I keep saying. Ladies, holla at me.
Listen, guess who just got a spot on the show?
Look at this.
Guess who just got a spot on the show? We'll be interviewing your husband next week.
Hold on, we gotta introduce
quick intro.
The producer of the year here, Chato. Chato, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, guys? Nice to meet you, Sarah.
Hello,
Chato's actually got a lot of he's got a lot of family in Canada.
So.
Oh, do you? Whereabouts in Canada?
London, Ontario.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm from Vancouver area.
Oh, yeah, they're all brainwashed up there right now.
I went to Whistler once.
Yeah, I was near Whistler, about an hour and a half from Whistler. Yeah,
that place is dope. Whistler's a good time. I had a really good time in Vancouver. I mean, I was high as shit, but it was great.
Yes. Yeah. No,
they were hip to it from 10 years ago on the marijuana scene. There was cafes.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great time.
Absolutely. It absolutely. I follow it a lot. And I think my nursing will eventually lead me down this path as well. I've recently just signed up for a course for the use of cannabis in palliative care. We are so far behind here in Australia, but I'm a huge advocate of plant medicines as well as with mental health. Just recently here in Australia, they have legalized the use of psilocybins for PTSD. Yeah. And depression, medication-resistant depression. So there are some psychiatrists now that are allowed to use that. It only just happened a couple of weeks ago. So I'm a huge advocate of the plant medicines as alternative medicines. Huge.
Do you use as well? Do you use?
So I do actually. I use cannabis. I use it when I work night shift. I come home from work, have some in the morning, and then I sleep really well. So it has been the only thing, I've used everything from Valium to all the sleeping pills that I've been prescribed by doctors, which either didn't work or made me feel like shit afterwards.
Yeah.
I recently started using a pop-in edible. I'll go to the gym, come home, have a shower, and I'll go to bed. And it's the only thing that gives me a half decent sleep on night shift, and I wake up feeling fresh.
Why do I feel like Sarah's looking for a co-host position on her show? It's like, goddamn, she's literally us. She's
my favorite thing to do is pop an edible and go into the gym. It's the best thing in the world.
Right. Well, there you go. And then I am
go into your workout.
Yeah. And then I'm also a user of psilocybin. So yeah.
My last psilocybin experience was about.
I've got it on my thumb
grams.
here. I've got a little mushroom.
Oh, it's amazing.
So, yeah, I'm a fan of the mushrooms.
Arif is well versed. As a matter of fact, he's got a couple good stories that I think we've probably heard now 17 times on the show. How many grams did you do again?
17 grams, the last one. We really went into a heroic dose. Yeah.
I like people's reactions.
I've used it so many times, and I believe it's not supposed to be used every day. Everybody has their own thing,
No,
but I
it's
believe
not.
it's actual medicine, and you shouldn't microdose. And I've done
I
eights
agree.
and stuff like that, but you read from like the old work of Terrence McKenna, and they say if you really and Paul Stamets, if you really want to get into the trip, you got to do more than 15 grams. And
Really,
I
I have heard of the heroic dose, but that
so,
scares the shit out of me.
well, I mean, it is scary because you do leave reality in general, and
You
you
leave.
just come back. But what it is, it's very intense, but not as long as just as a smaller dose. I feel like your dopamine and everything gets shot up, and your
shot
DMT
out.
levels get shot out, and then it just comes back out. So it's like 4 hours of just insane, just visuals.
Wow.
And just,
we're definitely gonna do it together, Reef. We just got to make sure.
Oh, so good. It's changed my life.
Yeah, the wives.
Oh yeah,
have
me
to
too.
Babysit us.
Yeah, it's changed my life. Yeah, my husband doesn't use anything. He's like, doesn't drink. He doesn't nothing. He doesn't use anything. He's not against it. He's totally open and supportive of all of it. He just chooses not to. And he's my like safe space, in the event that I'm doing my larger doses. So
yeah, that's it. Yeah. So we actually, the sponsor of the show is Entourage USA, and they make some really good products. So when we get off and I have your information, I want to send you down a pen. So use it, see if you like it. It's a 3 gram pen. I mean, we've gotten unbelievable feedback on it. So we'll definitely get it down to you. And then we'll let you you co-sign it. You let us know how you like it. But I know
I will.
He's in the union. I know that when he's got to get through a night, he's still functional and he loves his pen. I don't want to speak for you though, Reed.
Yeah, I work with heavy
equipment.
I love it. So sometimes marijuana isn't the way to go when you're working with heavy equipment. So like straight up weed isn't the way to go. Delta 8's a perfect way to kind of like be calm and just get you, it gives you a nice body buzz. That's the way I explain it, the body buzz,
Yes. Yeah.
But going back to the mushrooms, I think it's important for everybody to do them somehow at one point in their life. And experience it because it's very safe. It's not a dangerous experience at all. It's very safe. And at the end of the day, like when you start bugging out and getting paranoid, all you got to remind yourself is I'm just fucked up. That's it. And you just need somebody to tell you that. Yeah.
I agree with you. I do think that is the case. And interestingly enough, the times where I've had a few moments or a few sort of trips where I have had that little, oh, fuck, I'm freaking out here a little bit. Being able to conquer that and come out the other end of it is actually given me tools to manage my own personal anxiety that I have in life. It really has. And that's how I got into mushrooms for mental health, but I just freaking love them. Like I'm going to a music festival on Sunday and I've got my boots packed with my mushies.
That's awesome. I mean, listen, let's be honest. I personally I hate to even say it, but I'm kind of anti-pharma, even though it, my world collides with it, in my professional career and obviously my wife's. But you're not going to tell me that the stuff that's coming from the earth is somehow worse and not more beneficial than the shit that these for-profit companies who lead the world in lawsuits, by the way, lawsuits lost, are creating a better product than God himself. So if I have to weigh in and you're going to put in front of me, all right, God made this one and Pfizer made this one.
Brought to you in part by Pfizer.
I'm going to go with brought to you in part by God. That's what
yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
I think a lot of people take a step back from it because their initial experiences with it is probably done at a club. When there's a lot of stimulation when you're on this shit. So when people are taking it, it's done at a club originally and they don't have a great experience. They bug out or they're in like in a bar or something with a bunch of people they don't trust. And that initial experience you get can't scare the absolute shit out of you.
Yeah.
And let's not forget all the negativity that's around it in general. I mean, like, it's kind of like the girl that, meets one of your boys. If you tell that girl, like your buddy could be ugly as shit. If you're like, oh, he's a really good dude. He's good looking. Yeah. And you introduce, all of a sudden that girl's like, oh, I really like him. Meanwhile, he could have a face like a foot, but it was the hype up that got you there, right?
Yes. It's definitely, it's got such a big stigma on it.
Game.
Yeah, it's got such a stigma.
Chris has hooked me up with a lot of girls doing the hype man thing. I mean,
yeah, I know, but come on, bro. You it's not like
he
you
goes,
look
I got
like,
this guy. All of a
like
sudden, I'm
shit,
coming in.
though.
She's like, oh, you own car dealerships? I'm like, yeah, sure. I got 20 of them.
Oh shit!
But it is
So
definitely,
listen,
and I know now. Sorry, Chris, to cut you off. I know now there's adaptogenic mushrooms. I think we were exploring that too, seeing what that's going on. And there's like you have also ketamine now being used as treatment too here in America.
Yeah.
So there's
our
a
guest
lot.
next Wednesday's been using it for mental health. I'd actually like to talk to her a little bit about it because they have it in Albany, New York, big treatment center, and she can't. She's got addiction issues, so there's certain things that she can't use.
Yes.
She's had really great success with ketamine.
Ketamine, yes,
so
agreed.
There's so many. And you know what's so funny is we're watching everything come full circle, right? Because let's be honest, the pharmaceutical companies are trying to figure out how they can get their hands into this, and that's ultimately what's happening. Let's be honest.
That is what's happening, and that's what's so sad. Like I do the patients that I have that come in and they are on the prescribed cannabis. The money that they're paying for it and the dosages that they're getting, it kills me. It breaks my soul. I feel like saying to them, hey, I can hook you up.
Well, that's the problem. As soon as regulations start, and listen, let's just call it what it is. And I don't care what anyone says. If the government can get a piece of it and they can tax it, it will all of a sudden become beneficial in their eyes.
Yes.
That's it.
Of course.
You always follow the money, and that's where you're going to get it. My hope is that they figure out how to monetize a lot of the other shit that's out there before it's too late, because we're seeing some really, really bad trends starting. And I'll just use the USA for example. We are very unhealthy people. Really, really, really unhealthy people. And it's because everyone is addicted to prescribed medication. That's what it is. It all can be tied back to there. So, it's scary
because I have been diagnosed myself with, I have anxiety. I don't know. I've probably had it my whole damn life. It's probably been bred into me. I don't know. I suffer with anxiety and panic attacks, but I've been diagnosed with complex PTSD. It sort of became like almost a breaking point in my life about 5 years ago, where it was literally impeding on my functioning. My social anxiety was just next level, night terrors, the whole gamut. And I started seeing psychiatrists, whom I don't see anymore. And the medications, it was like, oh, here, try this one. If that doesn't work, just double the dose. Okay, that one's not working. Try this one. Like I tried them all. And
let me hit you with the medication that will make you want to have
but
suicidal
it wasn't bad.
thoughts.
They fucked me up. Like I felt like off my face, but not in a good way. I'd feel scattered and like hungover the next day. Not one of them benefited me other than maybe like when I was having a severe panic attack taking a Valium, because it just sort of brought me back down to a baseline. But none of them worked, and I lost my faith in them. And that's where I started researching the alternative stuff. And that's when I came into sort of mushrooms, and I was like, oh man, I need to try something. And my first trip was all by myself in the lounge room. And from that moment on, I was like, this literally is changing like the neural pathways in my brain. Like
let's be honest, it's undoing
everything.
Trauma.
Yeah.
Were you nervous the first time you tried it that it would trigger?
Yeah.
Panic attack?
I was so scared.
I have really bad panic attacks, and that's something that I would be afraid of the first time. I would just feel like I'm having a heart attack.
Well, I mean, you know what happens is once you feel that, and then it's like you think it's like 20 minutes, but it's really like 10 seconds when you're tripping that hard. And then all of a sudden, once you get through it, you feel like you just want to say thank you to the creator the whole time. You're like, wow, thank you. And then all of a sudden you just have a great trip after that. Once you get over that initial thing, it's almost like a high dose edible. Once you get over that first anxiety, forget it.
No,
I got these guys.
I definitely want to go. I need
both you guys. 15 grams. Let's go to fucking see Jesus,
I need a
baby.
shaman.
All right.
I need a reef the shaman.
Yep. I'm gonna sit there with my little rattle thing. Yumma, 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 yumma. Forget it.
Wait, what's that? What movie's that from? Is that
Major League,
Major
bro?
League? I thought so.
Joe Boo.
Joba? Yeah, Joe Boo.
Joe Boo.
Fuck you, Joe Boo. Oh shit, that's great.
No, but I think it's very important. So
you've convinced me. Between the two of you guys, I mean, you have definitely convinced me into walking down the walkway, not my chair. I'm ready.
Let's go, bro.
I've come a long way.
Empty. We got to get the house empty. I'm going to be playing some Pink Floyd for a little. Then I'm going to be playing some ayahuasca music, little Chichinista music.
Can we get Aaron Rodgers?
No, I don't want Aaron Rodgers. Fuck him.
I feel like I got to do it with Aaron Rodgers.
No, bro. Let me be the star of the show. Why do we got to get Aaron Rodgers here, bro? Let me be the star of the show for once. We got to go get an NFL quarterback. No one's going to pay attention to me. God damn it. Let me have this. You know?
All right, I fucking take it back, man. God damn, crazy. So wait, what else we got going on? Because now we Sarah's here. Like I said, Sarah, whenever I know you're busy, you got a tight schedule, but Reef likes to fire out some situations and talk about what's going on in current events. As a matter of fact, I'll fuck this whole game up right now. You know what? I'm gonna fuck this whole game up.
All right, let's go.
We're in February, okay?
Okay.
Reef recently went through a divorce. 7-8 months ago, it was. I never got my money back from the envelope. But please, I'm just kidding.
I put in a bond. You know I don't want that bond, bro. I put in a bond. It's growing interest, bro. What the fuck?
I was busting his balls the other day because he's going into February, and when we're in February, we're going into March, and he told me he's been spending a lot of time working, and we're getting the podcast off the ground, and he's got an empty stable. No stable, right?
No girls.
No girls.
That's it. I cleared out the stable.
Which in my single days, that's a big no. You don't ever.
First of all,
you never know when you're going to need milk.
I'm going to tell you right now, you got the worst panel here to explain current dating right now. The worst panel, a bunch of married people. Okay, so let me fill the audience out in what dating is like right now. It's a fucking disaster out there. It is literally landmines everywhere. Broken people, hurt people, especially in this area. It's this area. And the lockdown put a lot of people down. And over here, it's just, you meet people and they want to know your political. In New York City, I got to give them my political stance, my pronouns, my fucking what,
It's too fucking complicated. It's too fucking complicated.
When I'm getting asked what I'm going to do for women's rights on a normal, I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? What
the fuck is anyone going to do? I don't know. Let's start with taking trainees out of fucking women's sports. I don't know. That's my contribution.
Yeah.
All right. So, anyways, I had a question. So, I mean, first off, what's your thoughts on that? That's a no-no, right? I mean, you need to
on the sports, the women's sports. Is that where we're going?
No. I mean, on a Reef stable being empty right now. That's a big no-no.
I don't know. Again, I'm married, and I just have to say I'm sorry because I would not want to be going single right now and having to date. Like, fuck me. And I ended up I was single for a year after my divorce, and my stable was empty for a year. And somehow my now current husband fell into my life. And thank fuck that he did, because I wouldn't want to have to be juggling everything. But then in saying that, my husband and I, we're still kind of fucked up people. We're just committed to trying to be less fucked up
with each other. I love that.
That's important, though.
All right, so we talked about this a couple shows ago, and I can only give it so much insight. Obviously, I'm a married man, been now for 7, going on 8 years. Where is a good spot? And obviously, I know you're not in the U.S., but where are all the nice girls? And trust me, I think Reef needs. I think he needs a nurse in his life, because I think that they're very bro. I'm telling you, I think you do.
Nurses are good.
Stay away from the first off. He loves fucking hairstylist. Woo! Big red flag. Okay, so that's the problem. Like that is Shout out to all the hairstylists that listen to the show.
I still love you. I didn't say that. Reef Leader did not say that.
Yeah, earplug it for me, because we got to talk about how fucked up you are. But where does he go about? Where can he start to maybe meet a nice girl? Because you haven't really been married that long. You were single not too long ago.
I was. I'm trying to think, where was I? The gym. At home. I'm like a homebody. I don't know.
The gym. I've been going to the gym. I have a private gym, in my building, so I've been using that. But more and more, I've been going to
the gym. I think can be a good place, and it's funny because I always felt like, why does no one ever try and hit on me or pick up? Like, I was worried when I was single that, like, how am I going to do this? No one hits on me. I'm like, I'd be at the gym and there'd be like all these guys, and I'm like,
I'll tell you why.
Don't be afraid. Don't be intimidated by the girl.
Yeah, they don't want to wind up on fucking Joey
TikTok
Swole's
or something.
TikTok.
Yeah.
You know,
look at this.
My luck. Look at this George Costanza motherfucker picking up me.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the last time Reef was in a gym, the girl let him in, and then he walked up. He tried to grab her, and now it's all over social media, all over. Was it down in Florida?
Yeah.
So maybe don't go for the grab right away.
I put her in a full Nelson. I was like, oh.
Yeah, maybe hold on to like the second or third time for that.
But it's true. Even when you go to the gym, as a single man now going to the gym, you got to be careful because you don't know. But when I see the eyes, the Davy Jones twinkles, you know what I mean? It happens, That's when you know.
It is a weird world, though. Like I know that there are a lot of women who, if a man approached them, they would be like, what the fuck? Like, don't talk to me. So you guys are probably in a hard position where, I may be married and a guy could come up to me today and be like, oh, you're beautiful. And I just would say, thank you very much. And, I'm not interested, but I'm not going to attack him for it. Right. But I think that's the way the world's gotten, is we've gotten quite extreme. So it's really freaking hard, I don't know. And then there's the whole online dating thing. Like, I signed up for an online dating. I never used it. But
which one was it?
What's the big one that you flick? I can't even remember now.
Tinder.
No, Tinder. Is it Tinder? Yeah, it might have been Tinder. Is that the one everyone uses?
Yes, Hinge, Tinder. So
5 years ago.
I keep telling Reef he's got to go on christianmingle.com or Farmers Only.
Christian Mingle.
Oh, a country girl. Maybe a country girl.
That's what I need.
I love country girls.
I need to.
They are top notch. They're hard workers. They're down to earth. They're not into all the bullshit. Go for a country girl. That's where you got to go.
Yep.
Reef, I think
I got a recruiter down in Australia now.
Yeah.
Because even at work, like when we get nurses in, we get what we call them new grads. They're like fresh out of uni or student nurses. The girls that are from the city, they're fucking, half of them are useless, got their head shoved up their ass, or they're too good to wipe an ass. The girls from the country, man, they can talk to the patients. They get in there, they get their hands dirty. I'm all about the country girls.
Yeah, you need a girl that's gonna have no problem wiping your ass when you get a little older.
Yeah, of course.
That's a bonus. Anyway. That's a bonus, bro.
Reef, that doesn't work. You go back to the old country and find
I'll go straight to Albania. Couple goats.
Oh, there you go.
Speaking of, not shameless
dowry,
plug, but
no
number one podcast in North Macedonia.
That's right, baby. We're the number one trending podcast in North Macedonia.
Really?
Right.
There's lots of Macedonians here in Australia. Lots of them.
If you see a monster uptick on the OnlyFans from a bunch of Macedonian men, make sure you
don't forget about the boys here. All right,
don't forget your boys.
Definitely shout you out for sure.
I wanted to get an Australian's perspective on what's going on right now with all this shit going on in the world. Do you see we're entering World War III? What is it like? What are you guys thinking over there?
Again, I think it's divided. You have the people who are happy to do as they're told, take in everything that they hear, not question anything. I think a lot of people just feel comfortable being told what to do. And they're like, if I do that, then everything's going to be okay. And then you've got the whole community of people who think a little bit outside the box. They don't want to live the life that we're sort of being guided down. Right. And they're trying to repress people who are thinking outside the box. It's definitely divided here. I think the way that life is going on a whole, like it's fucking dysfunctional. To be able to have a family, to grow children, to raise them, to, I call myself a free range parent. I have always been about letting my kids get dirty, be on the ground. From a time they were like probably 7, they're walking themselves to school, walking themselves home. Like wow. They play in the streets. Okay. They roam. And they're hardworking, they're independent, they're good in school, they got their heads screwed on, they got common sense. People compliment me all the time on my kids because they got their shit together. And I think it's because they're forced to think for themselves, they're forced to figure shit out. But let me tell you, every second kid's wrapped up in what we call cotton wool here. Like they are helicopter parented till, and it is creating a society of incompetent people who can't think for themselves. We're losing authenticity. We're losing individuality. And it pisses me off because people like me who want to be a bit spiritual and a bit sexual and still work in public health, we're being shamed, and it's difficult for us to be all of those things because it doesn't fit in a fucking box.
Yeah. So, and what's funny is that is the people that preach all this, the government shouldn't tell you what to do, are the same people like shitting on you for doing whatever you want. It's such a weird. I just feel
like the hypocrisy. Like I feel like I'm living in fucking crazy land.
It literally is.
Like I honestly, but before you came on, I told Reef, I said, I honestly don't know where she stands. Like as far as like politics and stuff, I like to just kind of learn people, as they come on, and it is a breath of fresh air when you have someone that kind of validates, like, we're not fucking crazy. Like, and
we don't conform. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I started OnlyFans because I want to make bank, because at the end of the day, the world does circulate on money, and I want the freedom to do the shit that I want to do. Also, going through a horrible divorce, I literally left with nothing. I had to rebuild my life in my 40s. But I want to make bank.
You, by the way. That's
amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, mine totally fell apart. At the same time,
I'm not here. Like, I'm starting to make good money. I'm a nurse. I'm making good money on social media. I live in, I don't even know how old this house would be, 60-year-old cottage on the beach. Like, my house, it's gorgeous. Don't get me wrong, because it's all original, but it's small and it's original. I don't strive to have a big fancy new house. I drive a 4-wheel drive Land Cruiser, and I will always drive an older 4-wheel drive Land Cruiser. I'm not into a posh car. I just don't want that shit. I don't want to have credit cards up the yin yang. It doesn't interest me to live that way. I don't know. I want to experience things. I don't want to have stuff, and it just, I feel like I'm surrounded. Yeah, and I feel like I'm surrounded by people who become slave to their mortgages and to buy these big, beautiful houses that they're never even in because they're always at work. Like, fuck that. Yeah.
No, listen, I agree. I completely agree.
Yeah.
We definitely are going through some shit in the US. Like, we honestly, we all talk. Myself, Chado, and Reef, we talk a lot. We're actual real friends. We're not just doing this for whatever. But every day we're sending 7, 8, 9 texts to each other where we're just like, what the fuck?
Yes.
What the fuck is happening? And it just feels like it's almost like the fucking Twilight Zone. Like, every night it's a new rabbit hole I go down. That's my thing.
Yeah.
I know a lot of, like, I get made fun of all the time, but because, I'm not a spring chicken and I love TikTok. But I got to be honest with you. I'm on TikTok because most of my news comes from there, because they don't filter.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
And I've actually been getting mad at some of my friends, because they're running with this whole thing. They're like, oh, China's spying. Like, listen, China can spy any way they want. They just flew a fucking balloon across the United States. If you think that every app in your phone isn't somehow tied back to China, you're out of your fucking mind. The fact that they want to get rid of TikTok so bad, the government tells you they don't like the unfiltered content that is coming through there. So while all my, I have some friends, I think Reef, as a matter of fact, is not, I've heard him say it before, but he thinks TikTok is spying, which is fine. I don't care if they can spy on my phone all fucking day.
Yeah.
The dick pics.
Yeah, but I don't want the Chinese spying on me.
Yeah, but listen, it's all the same shit.
I don't care if my government spies on me, but I'm not letting them spy on me.
It doesn't matter. They're already spying on you. They're already in this podcast right now. Trust me when I tell you. The point is, I use it because I get a lot of unfiltered news from there, and I see a lot of shit that's going around.
Yeah,
in the
I get
US
my stuff
right
from Twitter,
now.
my news.
Yeah, and I feel like even Twitter has gotten a little watered down with some of the shit. Like, I've noticed, like, with the alien stuff, Twitter's letting a lot of these, like, videos from, like, 2012, 2013 pass through for, like, for, like, modern day, like, right now. But with TikTok, I feel like a lot of the shit that I get on there, like I said, Chris, I know I send shit to Chado 5-6 nights a week where I just try to haunt this kid's dreams and I fuck them all up. See, Reef doesn't get fucked up. I can send Reef anything. He doesn't get it. I send a lot of fucked up shit to Chado because I know he already has problems
I can't open
sleeping.
up a TikTok from Chris. It's after.
And plus, I
after
consume
10
so much content. Like I literally consume so much content. I probably already seen everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Where I work,
Right.
I kind of just monitor things right now instead of doing a lot of the heavy lifting now because all the younger guys do it now. So I just listen to podcasts. I look at news. I'm constantly throwing stuff at Chris. It's like,
well, that's the thing. Reef is literally my news source because I don't watch our regular news. Like I said, I've been doing I'll go down the rabbit hole on like TikTok, and the main thing now is like, and we don't. There's so many conspiracy podcasts out there, so we've tried to stay away from it. Where we're just kind of like shooting the shit. But I will say right now, like I'm genuinely concerned. Like I live in Carolina. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of natural resources here. There's a lot of really good power. There's some nuclear plants here. I'm genuinely concerned that we are under attack and no one is talking about it. Whether it's domestic, homegrown, whether it is China. Right? We got so much shit. That's our problem. We have our hands in everyone else's pocket. That we don't even know who the fuck would be attacking us, but somehow, some way, we're under attack right now, and no one's talking about it. But we are having we're having chemical plants blow up. We're having trains derailed. Like, what do you hear? Because you got to remember, I know our news is filtered, and I know that I have friends that live in other countries that are like, bro, your country's fucked up right now. Like, there's a lot of people talking shit, like how bad our president is. Like, what do you get? Like, give it to us from like an outsider. What do you guys look at the U.S. right now? Because I know you don't look at us the same way we were in the late 90s or early 2000s.
No. I think from what I hear and experience, it seems to me that a lot of people around here sort of think of the U.S. as sort of a joke at the moment. Like, what a shit show. It's lost its respect and power, I think.
When would you say that started, by the way? Would you say it started with Trump or would you say it started with Biden?
No, I think there was a ripple with Trump, but then it's changed now because there was like all the Trump haters, which now have become Trump supporters.
Yeah, the grip is strong.
Yeah, so it's that dynamic that started it, but that ultimately wasn't the problem. It was COVID, because now like I said, the people who were like anti-Trump are now supportive of Trump here. I don't watch the news. I literally just can't. Like, it's too much for me. I pick up bits and pieces on social media. I probably get most of the shit like what you do. I get it from my husband. He sends me shit. Sometimes I'm too mind fucked to look at it. Like, this is too much for me today. He worries more about the world on the whole. I don't disagree with it. I think it's just that it's like, I feel like I'm juggling so much internally. I can only worry about so much.
And what can we do? What honestly can we do?
What can we do? And that's what I say to him. He goes down rabbit holes and I'm like, okay, well, do you have a plan? Are you going to get out there with, warrior man and take on these governments? Like, that's cool. If you want to, I'll support you, but I don't have the time or the interest to get out there and fight these people. I can only on my own, I think, small level control what I control. And I think that comes back to just the tiny little things in my day-to-day life, the decisions that I make in how I live, how I shop, what I consume, etc. That, it are the little differences that I can make.
How are you guys doing with inflation down there? Are you guys getting hammered?
It's insane. The last year, it's literally insane. My grocery bill, my fuel bill, everything. It is scary. Like, that is scary. Luckily, I don't have to worry about, not paying my grocery bill. But let me tell you, when I was single, there was a time where I was counting pennies. And if that was happening with the prices now, I would have been fucked. I don't know how I would have done it. Like, and I feel a lot of compassion for people. Like, just today, there was some guy trying to sell paintings outside of my bank that I went to this morning. And I didn't take one of his paintings, but I ran into the ATM machine. I gave him $20 because, like, I just feel freaking bad. Like, maybe he's going to go.
Paintings, though?
Yeah. They weren't actually. They were indigenous, like Aboriginal paintings. They're actually quite good.
Oh, you should have fucking taken one then. You should have given 40 and at least gotten a painting.
He's probably asking 1,000 for it.
I never used to be one to do that, but now I'm like, shit, like there are so many people who are struggling, not just because of their own life choices, but they're fucking struggling because the world is an asshole. Like,
yeah, no, you're right.
You know?
Squeezing them.
Yeah. So, and I think that's also when my husband and I decided to do I shouldn't say my husband and I, it's more me that does it, but the OnlyFans is, I was like, hang on, this is a chance to have a little bit of financial freedom, have a little stockpile of cash, perhaps get us out of the rat race. Like we want to travel the country. We're going to buy a school bus and renovate it. Sick. We just want to know that we've got a backup shelter, that we can be self-sufficient. And I don't know, it's just it's both a desire and a little peace of mind, I think. You know, because there were times that I came home from work and I was like, fuck this shit, I'm fucking quitting. Like,
do that every day.
He's like, do it, babe, do it. And then I was like, no, I love my job. Like,
right.
So
nice.
You know, Chris, you mentioned before you were talking about before about all this alien shit and everything, and you know, on top of that, with the earthquakes in Turkey, and then the second one just hit recently, I wanted to share some with you. Shout out to Ryan Davis from the Digital Conspiracy Underground Network. He shared me this the other day. But you know, you ever heard of Project Bluebeam? How it was sold as a alien invasion, Project Bluebeam?
No.
If you read into it, like over here, Project Bluebeam was an old CIA project that was unveiled in the 1970s. And it showed that the government wants to use projections to fake an alien invasion. That's what was sold to us. That's what they said. That's what was released. But then when you dig deep into it, there's more steps to it. And one of the steps is to trigger earthquakes and destroy old artifacts and have things show up from old places like Samaria and Turkey and everything like that. And that is one of the steps to get people to start questioning their fate. To say, oh my God, look,
we're having these freaking earthquakes. What?
Yeah, we're having these earthquakes. Yeah, look, I'll share with you the screen. I pointed it out the other day. It was pretty wild, but that's what they're trying to do. That's what it seems pretty. It seems pretty fucking crazy when I read this shit, because it does make sense to have people believe that their fate and their religion's fake, and now we're unearthing all these artifacts, and now look, this is the real God now. And then as we're questioning the real God, we have this new God now. See right here. The first step concerns the breakdown of all archaeological knowledge. It deals with the setup of earthquakes at certain precise locations in the planet, where it was happening today in Armenia and in Turkey.
Did you see the size of that
crater,
like, canyon? Yeah, that like ripped open in Turkey.
Yeah, I'm telling you, there's something up with it.
I can't look at it. I know it's a bit ignorant of me to say that I can't look at it, but honestly, like, it actually gives me like a pit in my stomach looking at like the disaster.
What gives me a pit in my stomach is the fact that we're shipping money to a government that's so corrupted, but yet there's people that need help. You know,
don't even get me started on Ukraine.
It's crazy. Like, you got people actually dying now. That thing's gonna be 150,000 people dead soon, but it's just wild. But that's what it is. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to condition us into now looking at these new archaeological discoveries. Look at this new God. This is the new God. This is what we should be believing in. You know, we found this. This is older than Babylonia. When we already know the Earth is older than everything they've told us. You know, it's already clear as day. So I don't know. I think it's one big psyop. They're just trying to fuck with us.
I honestly, like, I really. I don't like to give any specific opinions on things that I haven't actually researched, and I don't like to research a lot of this stuff because it is just too much for me. But at the end of the day, I don't believe anything that I hear or is preached to me, and I think I lost my faith in, you know, the government and I don't know, the idea that we're protected and we're safe in the legal system. The policing system. There's so many areas that I lost my faith in so many years ago. And I don't want to take this away from where we're talking like politically here and turn it personal, but I sort of have to, is, you know, going through what I went through in my past, in my previous marriage, and then how I actually escaped, and then the events that followed, and then the like 6 years of legal hell that I went through, it convinced me that what's right is not necessarily what's right. The truth doesn't necessarily matter. And the people that are meant to protect me are not going to protect me. I need to take care of myself. Like I learned
right with that. There are no heroes. No one is coming to save you.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time.
Worry about your round table. We live by. Worry about the people that are closest to you.
Yeah.
Your friends and your family. And hope to God you guys are the strong ones when it comes time that you gotta fucking fight everyone else.
Bring a skill.
Bring a skill. Exactly.
You guys know I got more skills than both you guys. I can build shit. So you guys are fucked. You guys need me. All right? You guys need me. I can build put pipes together. I can do everything. You guys fuck without me.
I'm Portuguese, bro. I got Mason.
Bro, get out of here, bro. Go make me some paella. I don't want to hear it.
Hey, listen, bro. My pro account at Home Depot might say you're a little fucked up here.
What? Bro, that was a long time ago.
What? Me renovating and building houses? That was like 2 or 3 years ago.
No. When I tried to renovate your shore house for a girl going through the wall.
What? Did a girl literally go through the wall?
Listen.
Allegedly.
That was like 2004, 2005.
2004, early.
Right? No, 06?
Oh, maybe.
Long story short,
long time ago.
These fucking jerkos had a couple of girls in one of the bedrooms at my short house, and they decided to play the airplane game. Like when you used to put people up.
On
your legs, and you're like,
yeah.
One of the girls was about $1.75.
Yeah, she was big.
Went right through the sheetrock, through the wall into the bathroom.
Yeah,
and I lost. John, I never told you this story. I lost my shit because I said, are you fucking kidding? Not only that, but they hit a pipe in the wall that was a like a
main water main
or whatever. Yeah, it was
water main.
Yeah. So
wasn't me, by the way.
Gary Gutterball. Yeah. No, she was fine. She was fine. She was all padded up.
Sturdy.
Yeah, she was brolic. So these two jerk-offs tried to make me feel good, and they're like, "Oh, don't worry, we can patch it. We'll get some PVC. We'll make the pipe real nice, whatever." I immediately I felt good. I'm like, "Oh, my boy's got this. Don't worry."
That's all I try to do.
So they go to the store. I'll never forget this because at the time I really hadn't done anything with like housing and flipping and all that shit. And they come back with like a fucking 1 gallon of spackle. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I didn't feel good about it. And I was like, I don't think that's gonna fucking get the job done. I think there should have been some I don't know, some at least one board of sheetrock in this equation. Anyways, long story short, they're like, we gotta let it dry. They wouldn't let me look at it. They're like, well, we gotta let it dry. Let's go out. We went out to the club. We had a great night. Got all fucked up, retarded, whatever. We get home. Everyone goes to bed. I wake up the next morning. I walk in there, and the best part is it was low enough where it was a spot that would just look weird. I walk in there. There's a fucking like a 48-inch picture. Okay. over this piece of wall. No bullshit. The bottom of the picture was about 2 feet off the ground. That's how low this picture was. It made no fucking sense. And I was like, guys, this picture can't stay here. And they're like, oh, it's still drying. I'm like, come on, just let me see it. I pulled a picture off the wall. It looked like someone took a bunch of wet paper towels and smashed it against my wall and tried to smooth it out the best they could. And I had to get it fucking professionally fixed before anyone
Gary
came
came and
the
fixed
house.
it, remember?
Oh yeah, Gary Gutterball, which by the way, it still never looked right up until I sold that house. It was fucking terrible. Who was that? Kelly? They got airplane into the wall
by George.
Yeah, by George. Shout out to Georgie and his wife Jen, because she's gonna probably want an explanation on the story.
It was just an airplane, nothing more.
Yeah, they were just playing airplane.
They're playing 9/11 in my short house.
I'm not gonna lie.
Terrible.
When I saw that happen, because I was the first person he called. He was like, "Yo, come here," and I was like, because Chris like couldn't know. He's like, "Yo, come here," and I went in. I thought it was fucking hysterical because she was still in the wall. So I couldn't stop laughing. And then when it hit me, I'm like, "Oh fuck, Chris is gonna lose his shit." I'm like, "Oh
no." I mean, dude, it was bad.
Yeah, it was bad.
Put it this way, it was bad. It was such a collision that even though you could see the whole body print, she even fractured the board next to it that had nothing to do with it, just from like a stress fracture of her at what speed she went into this wall with.
Bro. And I didn't really want to tell Chris because we were having a great night too. I'm like, I don't want to ruin this night right now.
Totally ruined my night. That was a good time, bro. We had a lot of good times at that short house.
Yeah, we had good times.
We really did.
We were all like-minded people. That's why we had such a good time.
Sarah, did you ever watch it? Did you ever watch like Jersey Shore?
I did. I used to watch it back in the day. Yeah.
Thursday night, that was the shit, right? Actually, technically, I guess it was Friday night for you, right? Or Friday. Yeah.
I don't even remember. I just remember watching it all the time.
So we actually we had so I had a short house down there.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
I was only like 20 minutes away from Seaside Heights, where that whole thing happened, and I was actually there because a couple of my buddies are very close with Gianni Laval. Who wound up marrying. So I was there the night that Gianni met Snooki at Carnival. Took her out of there. So
they're still together too, aren't they?
Oh yeah, they got a bunch of kids.
Oh, this is hot. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I had
slew kids.
I had a beach house in Beach Haven, and he bought a condo 2 blocks over from it. So I used to see him
cool.
and Snooki. Although you're not allowed to call her Snooki. She goes by Nicole. She gets very offended.
Nicole. Fair enough.
It's still fucking Snooki to me though.
Snooki days are gone, are they?
Yeah.
A lot of that partying was exactly the way they portrayed it on the show too. There was.
I will say there was not a lot of acting on.
No.
Yeah.
That was a
real life.
Show. That was a great. I don't care what anyone
great
says,
show, bro.
No, bro. Listen, that was a great era. The Jersey Shore was amazing during that time.
It was. I'm not gonna lie.
It was unbelievable. Right. And by the way, let's be honest. Those jerk offs really were never like they're not New Jersey people. None of them were from New Jersey.
New York.
Oh, really?
Paulie's from Rhode Island, Providence.
Yeah.
Snooki's from Poughkeepsie, New York. Ronnie Ortiz, Ari's Puerto Rican cousin, is from the Bronx. Yeah. And the situation was actually from New Jersey, but like Central Jersey, like Hazlitt. You don't even call that really the shore.
No,
that's
like right. So none of them
yeah, and Vinny was from Staten Island.
Yeah. That Jersey Shore era made me feel confident in dancing in a tank top finally. You know, I'm so glad I went through that era so I can go to a festival now and take my shirt off and feel great fist pumping, you know.
Let me tell you something.
It gave me so much confidence.
Does everyone have time? Does everyone have time for a story right now?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm here for it.
Okay. Truth be known, Arif is one of the greatest dancers I have ever seen.
Really?
Dude, the kid is a fucking he's the Ewok of the dance floor.
That's hot.
Okay.
Dancers are hot.
Dancing, the house music.
Hot.
To the point where people used to be like, they'd be like, yo, is Reef coming? And like, I didn't know. He would come to family functions and shit. And they'd be like, that was it. They'd be like, bro, get Reef to dance. Because everyone else like, they had to be like, Reef, dance. He just wouldn't dance. I had to like schmooze him. I'd be like, bro. Like,
I chose not to dance.
Yeah.
What?
So first time I ever saw Reef dance, and I knew it was special. So this is like this is a 2-part because it was the first time I saw Reef, and I'll tell you the last time Reef ever danced. So this is a 2-part story. So we're in Bamboo. The upstairs is 21 and older. At that time, we had we had a nice stable, bunch of 18-year-old birds downstairs. So we knew we could go upstairs because they couldn't go upstairs. So that's where we did most of our damage. This is just going back to the player days. So we're upstairs. We're having a good time. Used to get a lot of kids on Memorial Day weekend that were from New York. They thought they were fucking awesome. They tried to come down and run shit in New Jersey, whatever. So all of a sudden, a battle circle starts. And I used to see, like, I saw movies, and I'm like, this shit does not happen in real life. There's no fucking way. We're about to watch a dance off right now. Like, I thought this was stuff that you only see in movies.
Yeah.
So I look over, Reef's dancing with this kid. All of a sudden, they're both just fucking going at it. And this kid's a good dancer. But Arif just starts getting, I could tell Arif was getting a little annoyed with him. Like, this kid thinks he's great. Let me pull out all my moves. Next thing I know, there's a bunch of people. I mean, it is literally 150 people that are all around us. And he's dancing. And in the middle of the dance, Arif does this move that a lot of people, like, if from the first visual of it, you're like, I mean, that wasn't anything impressive. And then all of a sudden, you just see Arif go like this with his fingers and point down. This motherfucker in the middle of the dance somehow took off his shoes and had them placed perfectly at this other kid's feet to let him know he was walking the fuck out.
I've never seen anything like that. What?
No one has any idea. First off, I don't even know if those shoes may have been there before the dance battle started. I don't know. But they were Reef sneakers. They were diesels, bro. They were little white diesel. I never forget.
Yeah, the little sneak shoes back in the day.
They were fucking perfect, and they were laying there. And then the kid literally looked at Arif, put his hand on his heart, like, I fucking love you, bro. Like, you ended me. And that was it. Brought it in, gave Arif a hug. When I tell you, literally the whole dance floor just surrounded him. And I'm over there. Like, best friend, let's fucking go.
With the backup to that is I grew up in the Manhattan club era back in the day, in the late 90s, early 2000s. So back then, it was nothing what clubs are now, VIPs. Yeah. All the best DJs were in New York City back then. Roger Sanchez, Oscar G, Eric Murillo, you name it. The biggest Tiesto, before he got famous, was in New York. In these places.
Love old Tiesto.
I saw all these guys. You name the top DJ, I saw them before. When they were young and raw, and like Teneglia. I used to go see, like, all these big DJs you can name, and everything was dancing. That's all we did. Yeah. And in New York City, you had the mixes downstairs in Sound Factory. You had the break dancers in the hip hop room, and then they would come back upstairs to the house room, and like kind of like do this new like hip hop house dancing that was created. Like, I got to see that live, from break dancing to this house break dancing. And everybody just danced. Everybody battled each other. Everybody danced, and it was nothing but love. It was awesome. There was no VIP, no bullshit. That's all we did. You know, I was part of a break dancing crew when we were younger, and like when we got to the house music, it was like, we could start showing off, because nobody had really seen people dance house music. Break dance at the house music.
And Reef is a twin, so his brother's a great. I'm not. Your brother's not as good as dancer as you, but brother was a great dancer as well.
So two of you going off.
Yes.
Yeah. So, my brother's 6 feet tall, and I'm 5'6".
Yeah. So they used to always be.
Are you serious?
It's like Danny and Arnold.
Arif got the 6 inches.
Hot, though. I freaking love it. A guy that can dance, I freaking love it. My only problem is I'm tall, so I like to dance next to tall guys.
Yeah, well, I hear that a lot.
How tall?
I'm 5'10", so yeah.
We've talked a lot about 5'10" women on the show. We used to see 5'10" women at the club. He used to climb up them and just start dancing.
I used to sit there and go, "What's up, girl?" I used to hit their kneecaps.
Spider monkey.
Yeah, so I used to, anywhere we used to go, because, you know, Reef and I mean, we've known each other now since, when did we meet? 2004, right?
Yeah, 2004, yeah.
So we're going on almost 20 years, but I feel like it was longer than that, bro. Sure it was only 2003?
I'm not sure, bro. I got to look up my friend card.
I got to look back at Nikki Baczynski, what era she was.
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, so I used to, anywhere we went, it was the way for like the icebreaker. I'd be like, Reef, just go.
Yeah.
He'd be like, bro, he's like, I'm not feeling it. I'd be like, bro, come on, get the fuck out there. And I bring him upstate. Didn't matter wherever we went. And it would just be, I mean, it was like Magneto. It was just like,
yeah, it was easy to bring him in. Yeah. Give it
to me. Yeah.
But so the last time a Reef has ever publicly danced, I'll never forget it. And I wish it never happened, honestly, truthfully. Albany, that's where I went to college, and I lived in upstate New York. We're up there. Scotty Powhida bought a club. He was a guy who used to come in the gym. I worked at Gold's Gym during those times. Shout out to Scotty Powhida. And he tried to copy the place in the city that had couches. It was called Mantra, but I don't remember the place in the city that had couches.
It was I think Suede Suede was the name that they were trying to. Yeah,
it was a bunch of couches. Was all like hooked up.
Yeah.
And the place was bumping that night. I mean, there was some of the most beautiful girls I've ever seen in Albany. Albany is a little rough. It's hard. You see a couple of girls from Albany that are from like Iona and shit. They're good time, whatever. But most of the time, it's really not that great. But this night had the most beautiful, amazing people. It didn't make sense, and I didn't understand what was going on. But I was like, this is a weird. There must be something in town, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I noticed there was a lot of people that were out there kind of dancing, like having a good time. So Reef was feeling it. He's a good dancer. He's doing his thing. And out of nowhere, I see this little black guy. It's like 5'6", very toned, little flamboyant. So I'm like, oh, this guy's about to get fucking shredded. So Reef starts he's doing his thing, right? We got a little Hadaway style. So I'm like, oh, this is fucking money. This is gonna bring more attention. We're gonna get a little more eyes on us. It's gonna be a good night. All of a sudden, this dude just puts on a fucking performance to the point where I watch the Reef kind of shrink. Like, kind of like I met my match, and I'm talking to him. I'm like, bro, just keep going. And Reef's like, nah, bro, this is not a normal dancer. I'm telling you right now, bro. I see this shit.
You don't know this world.
You don't know this world. Bro. This guy's elite. This guy was sent here to fucking kill me. And I'm like, and I'm looking at, as a hype man, you want to support your boy, and there's a lot of
yes.
I'm like, fuck this motherfucker, bro. Shred this guy. And Reef's like, I ain't fucking got it, bro. You just wait. This isn't even the finale yet. And Reef was spot on. All of a sudden, this guy just does this crazy shit, like as if he had his own show. He was the main character that night.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he does this bend back, like this limbo move where he bends back.
Yes.
I mean, the Exorcist shit. And he comes up, and he's literally like touching a Reef the whole way up. Like, that's how close they are. Bro, the visual of this, I wish I could actually really describe it, but I mean, it was gay. And he like fingered Reef the whole way up, and all of a sudden he comes up, and now he's facing everyone else, and then he leans back with like this little gay gesture, and he goes, "You may have seen me on tour. I'm Madonna's #1 dancer, bitch." And fucking went out, and Arif just looks at me and goes, "I could have bet $1 million that was Madonna's dancer."
Bro, he did a little pirouette. He did a little pirouette afterwards.
Did a fucking pirouette like he was a goddamn pixie. Like he put pixie dust on Reef. And
now you were the bigger man. You were the bigger man for walking away from that.
Yeah, right.
We walked out. We walked out, and Reef looked at me. He goes, "Don't ever ask me to fucking dance again. I'm done." And he never did.
I retired my dancing shoes that day.
He retired.
That was it.
That was it. That was it.
He retired the diesels.
now when I go to a club or I'm just that guy that goes like this and just thinks,
the heads up.
No clue what I can do to you. When I see people dancing, I'm like, you don't do a double step.
You might have to go to retirement one of these days.
Nah, it's over for me. My back won't let me do it. I'm out.
I got some good videos though. Kid, he invented the bow and arrow. Have you ever seen that?
No, my brother did. My brother invented the bow and arrow. Yeah, the little bow and arrow when he faked it.
The fake bow and arrow, and then you watch it explode on some girl on the dance floor, and then she comes over. It's goddamn.
It's a genius movie.
We live in some great times.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. I love it. I might try that this evening.
You'll never see those times again. I mean, you see it now in the festivals, but I haven't really been to festivals too much. I don't like the music the way it's evolved. My cousin, shout out to DJ Rama. He's one of the big underground DJs. He's in Germany this weekend, and he spins strictly vinyl, which I love. That's when DJs only spin vinyl. I love the sound of vinyl. Yeah. You can hear it in the clubs. You can hear it everywhere. I hate digital, so I hate going to a big festival because it's all digital. So when I go to one of these underground parties, I still love it. You can still hear the crackling of the record when it's playing. It still gets me going. I love old house music. It's one of my favorite.
There's nothing better. It really is.
It's almost like you're being in a trance. That's what it was. It
is what it was.
Somehow, some way. Eventually, God willing, the podcast gets to where it needs to be. We need to all wind up at just an unbelievable festival. And somehow, some way, I'm going to get you to unretire at least for one night. One night, that's all I need.
I want to be able to see it in person.
Oh, bro, it's sensational. It's sensational. It's the only way to describe it.
I want to see it.
It's unreal. So...
Miami in a week and a half.
Yeah,
that's right. I mean, we'll be in Miami next week. The Haram Life.
I've got a stepsister who lives in Florida.
Yeah.
Yes. But she spends half the year in Florida and no, she's not. Half the year in Florida and half the year in Kentucky.
Nice.
She's like a country girl, though. She actually works with horses.
Sarah,
I hate more about girls I can't get.
Yeah, listen. I hate to put this burden on you, but now I think you're a very good judge of what Reef needs. But I think you may have to keep a lookout.
I will
look out for a quality prospect.
I absolutely will. I'll definitely keep you in mind.
I love it. So what else we got? Is there anything we missed? I know. Let's see.
What do we cover?
I told you we were going to bounce all over the place. I hope you at least had a good time.
I'm here to bounce. That's all good.
I mean, we really covered everything else. I mean, other than that, we'll probably cover sports later on without Sarah, because I don't think she really gives a shit about New York football. You know? No,
I don't follow any American sport. I do watch Australian sport, but I don't follow the American sport.
What do you guys watch over there? You guys watch rugby?
We watch rugby, yeah, and cricket. Big cricket and rugby in this house.
It's huge.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck's going on when I watch cricket.
I was the same, and I used to think this is the most boring sport in the world, but my husband loves it, so I thought, okay, I've got two choices here. I'm either going to have to suffer in silence for the rest of my life, or I'm going to learn the sport. So I learned the sport, and I love it.
What is it?
It's like wiffle ball with drunks.
Really?
No, it's so technical. It's actually a really good game, and I have a few favorite players it's a good game. Yeah, but I love footy though. I love the footy boys. I love thick thighs, so I love to watch big thick thighs run around the paddock.
You know, they say I got the biggest calves in Jersey, but I don't know. That's what people are saying.
It's only because I moved.
It's funny what like I got to clean my body part because I'm like, yep, my calves. So then I focused on my calves. That's it. I also lived on these hills when I was a kid that were literally like 90-degree angle, like literally 90-degree angles climbing up these hills.
Yeah,
and I rode my bike up there. I walked up through the snow.
Was that Albania?
No, bro, North Bergen. Here's a little fun fact. Where I grew up, North Bergen is the second most hilliest town in America. How about that?
That's an actual fact.
That's an actual fact.
That's an actual fun fact.
It's a lot of people don't think about that when they think of Jersey. They think Jersey is just the armpit of America. It's a complete shithole. But I mean, it's literally the garden state. There's a lot of green in Jersey. A lot of hills, a lot of valleys. A lot of
I grew up like right by New York City, so we grew up on the ledge there. So it was like all the hills going up the mountain, and then you could see over to Manhattan.
Yeah.
So like my growing up, my view was like we would walk 20 minutes and then you'd see Manhattan right there, the skyline of Manhattan from the top of the cliffs up there. That's where we were.
I'm actually from a small town that's called Cloverdale, and it used to be known as Cowtown because they would spread manure all the time. Sorry?
Isn't there a documentary about that? I feel like I've seen that.
Cloverdale? I don't know. Yeah. It's got the second biggest rodeo in Canada that comes every year. But it was known as Cowtown because it's not like cow shit all the time because of the cow manure.
Oh, really?
That's crazy.
So you're talking to a bit of a country girl at heart. So
I've never been to a rodeo. I heard rodeos are awesome to go to.
Bro.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. I went all the time growing up.
I would love to. I actually have had this conversation with Chado a few times. Like I have it in my head that I need to, before I die, I have to get on a bull and just try to ride it out for.
You probably wouldn't last very long.
I was on one the other night. She was big.
I feel
broken neck, broken back.
Yeah, I feel like if I just trained, that I really could. I mean, I could at least make something happen.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Give yourself 4 years. 4 years, you can do it.
I think I need like 4 months of just getting in top notch shape. You don't got a little bit of technicality,
bro. You don't got the inner thighs for it, bro.
Bro, here we go.
You don't have the inner thighs for it, bro. You're weak in your inner thighs.
I don't know where you're coming up with that information, but I'll send you back to Albany University. You do 6 months worth of research, and I guarantee you that will be debunked.
Why don't you start riding bulls at bars? How about that?
Yeah, you got the mechanical bulls.
Go ride a bull at a bar.
I've seen some of these guys that are just amateur bull riders, and like, it depends on. Like, I'm not going to get on like the world's greatest bull. I'm going to wind up getting on some bull that's
just like an average bull.
Yeah, it's going to be an average bull. You're going to be all fucking.
I support this, Chris. I think you can do it.
I feel like Chano's only saying that so he can support his stupid Olympic thing. Don't buy into it, all right?
No, you can do it if you put your mind to it, bro.
I don't think so. I got my doubts.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, never say never. That's true.
I think based on just my pure physical ability that I could make it happen. A little bit of training. That's all.
Got to drop 100 pounds. Got to drop 100 pounds.
I mean, if I get down to like 220.
You got to be like, you got to be like 196. There's no bull riders at 220, bro. No, it's like one. You got to get down to 180, bro. You got to look like McConaughey in that AIDS movie.
Yeah, they are sort of little, aren't they?
Now I gotta look. Now I gotta look.
Little and limber.
Yeah, you gotta be little limber. You can't be a big boy on that bull, bro. Big tree full hard.
Who was the movie about with what's his name? The guy from 90210, Luke Perry. He did.
Oh, Luke Perry. Yes. Oh, this one.
7 seconds or something.
7 seconds. Yeah, he does the wave.
Who was that about? Let's find out who he was.
He was probably a little guy, bro.
By the way,
he was a little guy. By the way, it was a good movie. It was a good movie.
Imagine the size of the bull they would need to find.
The number
for him.
Listen,
bro, he's saying he's going on some like D-class bull too. This thing's gonna have a broken back by the time he fucking bucks $1. He's gonna.
First off, the number one bull rider in the world right now, his name is Dylan.
Dylan.
Yeah, that guy's 5'6", 150 pounds.
Yeah, so. Bro, you ain't got a shot, bro. You can't. No, bull riding is for you, kid.
I gotta find heavyweight bull riders.
Heavyweight bull riders. There's classes now, is there?
He's looking for anything.
I just need something. Ryan McConnell.
Start small, bro. Go to Spain one year. Go to the running with.
I'm not doing the running with the bulls.
Grab one of them.
Get out of here. I'm not doing that shit. I mean, dude, this guy's 5'11". He's 195 pounds. Out of Texas. I don't know, man.
You know what? Let's just end this whole stupid theory of you bull riding. It's not gonna happen, bro. I mean, why don't you put your thing into something? Why don't you knit a sweater or something? Okay, you can knit it for your daughter, your son.
Tough guy behind the mic. All right, bro. We'll see.
Bro, you know what? Go on one bull.
Enclosures down the road now for the next couple of weeks. See what I can do.
I remember I had to wear a sweater that my grandma knitted one time. It was the worst sweater in the world. I had to wear it too.
Aww, how cute!
I mean, it was cute, but it looked like with like those little stupid designs and everything. It was so bad.
Yeah, it was a bit mortified. Yeah,
and she literally spent months knitting it too.
Oh, grandma.
We had no choice. We had to.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Those are the best gifts, though.
All right, so Sarah, I want to thank you again for joining us today. It was
thank you for having
conversation. Me. Is there anything you want to say to the people for last words?
Oh God, there's so many words. Listen, I would just love it if you want to get to know me, pop on over, spend some time with me on TikTok, wherever else you want to follow me. I'm here for a good time. I'm here for some fun. I love meeting new people, interacting with new people. You guys, you've been great. It's been so much fun. My face hurts from smiling at you.
Awesome.
But I've had a lovely time.
And where can everybody follow you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, follow me on TikTok. Just at Your Inked Nurse. My IG is your_inked_nurse. And I've got a link tree there on my IG, on my Insta, that you can find me everywhere else. And listen, if you want to see the other sides of me, I'm on the OnlyFans. Okay. So you're welcome to join me there. I'm just about to release a TikTok page, which I'll promote on my main page soon. It's going to be more of a vlog page, day in the life, just sort of like thoughts from Sarah. And so, awesome. You know, my main page really is a lot of playfulness and sexuality. And I want to sort of have another side of me as well. You know, I don't want to take anything too serious, but I'd love to give, you know, just a little bit more insight into who I am as a person, having a laugh, the shitty, weird things that I think about.
Oh, so, it was a good start here. You had a good start here.
Listen, we followed you on there. So we followed you from our Instagram. We just launched this. We're only like a couple weeks old. So just hit the old follow button there. So
thank you for the follows. I'm following you back. I look forward to seeing where you guys go. You're a lot of fun. So
all right. Thank you very much, Sarah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. You have a great day.
Bye, Sarah.
See you.
Sarah's great. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's your ink nurse, Sarah.
Yeah, she was awesome. It was a good time.
You know,
I feel like we had a lot in common with her.
We did.